Legendary Ball Nowhere here. I'm back to talk to you about some dynasty stashes for the masses. I've got 5 players for you, second and third year guys that are going to become slightly forgotten. 2 running backs that people aren't going to value properly because of this running back class being so deep. 2 receivers that one broke out in 2024 just ever so slightly, and one disappointed you, but you shouldn't give up on him yet. And 1 tight end who's being gate kept. What can we do about that? I'm going to tell you exactly what to do about it. So let's start. Arizona Cardinals running back Trey Benson is the perfect 2025's perfect candidate, the poster boy for zero RB. So now we're talking about Trey Benson, third round pick of the Arizona Cardinals in 2024. We're expecting him to potentially split time or supplant James Conner. That doesn't happen. James Conner goes out in his age 29 season and posts a career high in yards rushing, touches, and games played. So what does that tell me for 2025? Some of those things are going to regress. Most likely the games played, because he only has one other season with 15 games played, and that was 4 years ago. So Trey Benson, 6 foot, 216 pounds, runs a 4.39. He averaged 4.6 yards a carry in 2024, and he averaged 10 yards a catch on very limited work, no less. However, this is a guy that if you turn on his tape at Florida State, he's electric. He's a home run threat. He's a threat to score from anywhere. So Trey Benson, RB 34 in our dynasty rankings currently. You can get this guy. He's going to be tremendously undervalued with this running back class coming in. So he is a perfect stash for the legendary ball knower. Now, we're going to move on to another running back, third-year running back, Tyjae Spears, currently the RB 43 in our dynasty rankings. Now, we saw the end of 2024 signal a breakout for Mr. Spears. He finished as the RB3 in week 15, RB10 in week 16, and he accumulated 24 touches before leaving with a concussion early in the third quarter in week 17, finishing as the RB12. So, what are we looking at for a breakout for Tyjae Spears? Well, the Titans can move on from Tony Pollard in 2026 with just a $2 million dead cap hit. And that's a pivotal piece of information because of the fact that Tony Pollard is not a part of the team's long-term plans. Most likely, they're taking a quarterback at 1 overall in the draft, and you're going to want youth surrounding youth. So Tyjae Spears is one of my favorite pickups here because he's been dynamic. He split time evenly with Derrick Henry, and we've seen what he can do with a lion's share of the work. So I predict the Titans will probably give him some sort of more even share of the backfield in 2025. And we've seen what he can do if he gets the lion's share. So get Tyjae Spears on your rosters, and you could do it for very cheap. As I said, he's the current RB 43 in our dynasty rankings. Moving on to the wide receiver position, we've got Jalen Coker, the former undrafted free agent. Yes, that Jalen Coker. Now, this is a guy, 6'3", 213 pounds, has a 98th percentile burst score, 42-inch vertical leap, and you can see that contested catchability bearing itself out when he was given an opportunity. First, he steps in Adam Thielen's role in the slot, and he thrives there. He earns 8 targets and then posts 78 yards in the touchdown against the Denver Broncos. And then he has 110 yards when Adam Thielen comes back. And then he culminates the season playing outside wide receiver, catching 7 passes for 62 yards in the season finale against the Falcons. So we're talking about a guy with the size and requisite speed and athletic ability to be a difference maker. And he's currently our wide receiver 70 in our dynasty rankings. This is a criminally low ranking, and we need to be paying attention to this because this is a guy that Bryce Young trusts. So Jalen Coker, wide receiver 70, we need to have our eyes on him as a potential breakout and a cheap buy right now for dynasty players. Are you ready to hurt again? Let's move on to our next wide receiver because he definitely hurt a lot of people in 2024. We're going to move on to our wide receiver 77 in our dynasty rankings, Dontayvion Wicks. Now, I know this is not going to be a popular pick. However, let's look at the factors here. They still tried to shoehorn him into the offense, even though he had a glove full of Megan Fox thumbs and he would drop the ball. He had 9 drops in 2024. That's not great. But we can't write him off just yet because of the fact that Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs are entering the final year of their contract, and we know that they want Dontayvion Wicks to be a part of the offense. We're talking about a guy with a 47.9% route win rate in 2024, along with a 29.5% targets per route run rate in 2024. So no matter how you feel about him, the fact is the Packers want him to be a thing. And at wide receiver 77, if I have a $200 million quarterback, that tells me these factors tell me that he could be something that you guys need to be paying more attention to. And I'm paying attention for you. And I'm telling you, Dontayvion Wicks is a guy that we need to be taking very seriously. And you can get him for very cheap onto your dynasty teams. So Dontayvion Wicks concludes the wide receiver position for us. Finally, we move on to the tight end position. We move on to the Senator, Ben Sinnott. Now, we're talking about a guy that 6'4", 250 pounds, our tight end 38 in our rankings. He's got a 95th percentile agility score, a 96th percentile catch radius, and a 98th percentile burst score. And that's a guy 6'4", 250 pounds, just a free space at the tight end position. Now, what we have to take advantage of is the fact that Zach Ertz is there. He's gatekeeping. He's keeping us from the breakout. However, we've seen this movie before. We're talking about a guy that kept Trey McBride from getting onto the field for the first 8 games of 2023. And then once he got on the field, we saw what happened. I fully expect for this to be very similar to that situation. Zach Ertz had a great year. Great guy. Love Zach Ertz. We're looking at a guy who could be a tremendous difference maker at the position. I read off to you what he is: 6'4", 250 pounds, 98th percentile burst score, 96th percentile catch radius, 95th percentile agility score. So you can go get Ben Sinnott, the tight end 38, for pennies on the dollar by just throwing him into a trade currently. So we need to be taking this very seriously. And again, all of these guys are going to be very cheap right now because of the fact that everybody's got rookie fever. So we have to capitalize on these pockets of value. And with that, I've given you 5 players, some dynasty stashes for the masses, people that are going to be overlooked going into rookie draft season. And these are guys that, again, could be studs in your lineup, could absolutely deliver and turn some coal into gold. These are the stashes. You're the masses. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me I'm crazy, but come back and tell me I made you a champion. Hey, good luck, everybody.